You ever open your bank app and just stare at it? Not because you are checking something, not because you are waiting for a deposit, just staring, completely still, hoping the number somehow changed since the last time you looked, 5 minutes ago. It did not change. It never changes. And you already knew that. But you looked anyway. Because some part of you needed it to be different. 0 is not just a number. It is a feeling. It is a weight you carry around all day. It follows you into conversations. It follows you into sleep. Today we are going to live 4 completely different lives. Your life at 0, your life at 1,000, your life at 10,000, and your life at 100,000. Let us start at 0. And I do not mean you just spent your last money on groceries. I do not mean you are waiting for payday and things are a little tight. I mean the real 0, the 0 that has been sitting there for weeks. You are not thinking about the future because the present is completely on fire, and nobody around you knows it. Here is what 0 does to your mind, and this is the part that nobody talks about. Nobody makes a YouTube video about this part. 0 makes you feel invisible. Not physically invisible, emotionally invisible. You stop responding to messages because you cannot afford to go out. You leave things on read. You make excuses. You say you are busy when really you are just broken and embarrassed. You smile and say, I am good, when people ask how you are doing, because explaining 0 is exhausting. You carry it alone. Here is a number that stopped me when I first saw it. Over 60% of people worldwide, more than half of the entire planet, cannot cover a $400 emergency. Without borrowing money, without selling something, without asking someone for help. That means the majority of the world is living one bad day away from 0. One car breakdown, one hospital visit, one unexpected bill, and everything falls apart. But 0 is also where something else is born. Something that money cannot buy and comfort cannot create. Hunger. Real hunger. Not the motivational poster type, not the Instagram quote type, the quiet type, the private type, the I am so tired of this, and I am never going back type. That hunger, that specific, personal, private hunger, is the most powerful thing you will ever own. Because it cannot be faked, and it cannot be taught. It only comes from one place. From living at 0 and deciding, never again. That decision. That is where everything starts. Now let us talk about $1,000. And I already know what some of you are thinking. Roy, $1,000 is nothing. That is not even a month of rent. And you are right. In the grand scheme of things, $1,000 is not a lot of money. I am not being dramatic. I mean that literally. The quality of your actual sleep changes. You stop waking up at 2 in the morning running numbers in your head. You stop doing that mental math, if I spend this, then I cannot pay that. Over and over until the sun comes up. You stop flinching every time your phone buzzes. Because for the first time, you know it is probably not a bill collector. It is probably just a message. Just a normal message. Chance to use it. Small things, tiny things, but they add up. They compound. And they start changing the way you see yourself. But here is the honest truth about $1,000. It is fragile, more fragile than it feels. One car problem, one hospital visit, one family emergency, one unexpected anything, and it is gone. Just like that. And the single biggest mistake people make when they hit 1,000 for the first time is they spend it. Because 1,000 feels like a lot when you came from 0. It feels huge. It feels like you made it. You have not made it. You have started. 1,000 is not the destination. 1,000 is mile 1. By the way, if you want the complete step-by-step system to go from 0 to your first $1,000 online, the link is in the description below. Everything is laid out for you already. But right now, let us keep going. Because it gets better from here. $10,000. This is where things get interesting. This is where the real shift happens. Not just in your bank account, in you. Because $10,000 does something to a person that 1,000 never could. It changes your personality. And I do not mean that in a dramatic way. I mean it literally and quietly changes how you carry yourself every single day. At 10,000, you walk into a room differently, not loudly, not arrogantly, not with a big watch and a loud voice trying to prove something. You stop taking every opportunity out of desperation. You start asking a question you never asked before. Does this actually serve me? Not, can I afford to say no? But, does this actually serve where I am going? 10,000 also does something strange to your relationships. And nobody warns you about this part. Nobody prepares you for it. The people who knew you at 0, they start looking at you differently. Some of them will celebrate you, genuinely. They will be proud of you. But because your growth is making them uncomfortable about their own situation. Your progress is a mirror they did not ask to look into. That is not your problem to fix. That is their journey. Your job is to keep going. Now, here is something that research actually backs up. Studies on financial psychology show that people with even a small emergency fund, just 3 to 6 months of basic expenses saved, report significantly lower anxiety levels, better sleep, clearer thinking, better decisions across every single area of their life, not just money, everything. Because here's the truth that nobody puts on a motivational poster. The number is not the point. The identity shift is the point. $100,000. I want to stop here for a second, because this number means something different to everyone watching. I am not going to sell you a fantasy. I am not going to show you a Lamborghini. You wake up on a Tuesday, just a regular, ordinary Tuesday, and there is no alarm, not because you forgot to set it, because you chose to wake up without one. You reach for your phone, and for the first time, there are no urgent notifications waiting for you. A quiet morning, and the slow, beautiful realization that today is yours. Your rent is handled. Your family is okay. The people you love are taken care of. And your time, for the first time in your entire life, Cora, is actually genuinely, completely yours. That is what $100,000 really buys. You can invest and let your money start working while you sleep. You can start a business without the fear of losing absolutely everything if it does not work out immediately. You can take a risk on yourself. You can give to people you love without calculating what is left after, without the guilt of not being able to help, without the pain of watching someone you care about struggle and feeling completely powerless. That feeling of being able to show up for people, that is something that no motivational video ever talks about. But it is one of the greatest feelings that money makes possible. $100,000 version of you, that person, made decisions at zero that most people refuse to make. They started something when they had nothing, when the timing was not right, when the conditions were not perfect, when everyone around them was watching TV and waiting for a better moment, when the results were not showing up yet. They kept going when the bank account said stop, when the self-doubt was loudest, when quitting would have been so easy and so understandable. They kept going anyway, because they made a decision on a regular day, with one ordinary day, that you choose to make extraordinary. Let me show you something. Two people, same age, 22 years old, same background, same starting point, zero. Person A looks at their situation and thinks, I will start when things get better, when I have more time, when I have more money, when the moment feels right. Person B looks at the exact same situation, same zero, same circumstances, same obstacles, and makes one different decision. They decide to learn one skill, just one skill that earns money online, not 10 skills, not a whole business plan, not a perfect strategy, just one skill, learned imperfectly. 6 months later, person A is still waiting for the right moment. Person B has their first $500. 12 months later, person A has a better list of excuses. Person B has their first $1,000. The gap between these two people did not come from talent. Person A is not less intelligent. Person B is not more gifted. It did not come from luck. It did not come from connections or privilege or perfect timing. So here's what I want to leave you with today. We just lived 4 different lives together, and I want you to notice something. Every single version of that life started at the same place. Zero. Zero is not your identity. Say that again to yourself if you need to. Zero is not your identity. It is your starting point. That is all it is. It is the beginning of the story, not the story itself. $1,000 is your first proof that you can do this. Proof that the hunger inside you is real. Proof that the decision you made was the right one. If today's video made sense to you, and you are ready to stop waiting and actually start, the complete roadmap is in the description below. It is all there, laid out for you, waiting for you. The link is right there in the description.